Hello, it is me, coming out of the darkness, which is maybe a metaphor for how I haven't made a video in months. Hi, I'm Tyne. This is my channel. We are currently in my bedroom, which is not where I usually film, but here we are. Today, I wanted to try something out that I saw someone else do, which was dress like college majors based on Pinterest aesthetic compilation edit things. I don't know what they're called, but basically I'm going to try and find the actual video so I can put it right here. I watched her do this with all the majors she considered majoring in, and I decided to do it with a few of the majors that I kind of really did major in, since I majored in the very broad arts and humanities, which included art, philosophy, and history. And it's really a challenge for me because usually I just cycle through wearing all of my different t-shirts with the occasional polo or collar thrown in. So I thought it would be a fun way to try using my wardrobe in new ways, but also because I mostly just wear an ungodly amount of t-shirts, I did have to dig into my parents' closet for a few of these pieces because I just don't own basics. I only own graphic t-shirts. I'm just curious if I really fit into any of these stereotypical aesthetics. Like, are any of these outfits things I would actually wear? So for each outfit, I'm going to be ranking myself on how well I match the Pinterest aesthetic, 2, how much I like the aesthetic as it's intended to be, and 3, whether I like my actual outfit. So as it manifested, whether it's perfectly matching or not, how do I like the outfit that I have put on my body? And at the end, we're gonna rank what aesthetics I like the most based on college majors, and maybe we'll get some insight into who I actually am as a person. I don't know. This is just for the lulz. But so, let's dive right in to the first outfit. So for the history major inspiration, some of the main themes that I noted were basically classic dark academia shit, mostly neutrals and darker colors, a lot of power suits. I actually found 3 different images for this one, so there was a decent amount to work with, and it kind of ranged from full-on power suits to more casual, still generally dark academia vibes. And I did find a little bit of a girlier version that did have sort of a darker burgundy skirt and just like a turtleneck and a beret. But spoiler alert, I did end up going for the more serious academia look. And based on that, this is what I am wearing to look like a suave history major. The elements that we have here are my pinstriped pants. They go about to ankle length. They have a bag waist. I covered the bag waist with this top. It is a tank top blouse, very flowy. And then this is my mother's blazer. You can see the pattern and the slouchy slouch. This doesn't match as exactly, but I felt like the blazer really fit like the vibe, so this is what I'm going for. For this one, I would give myself an 8 out of 10 for matching the inspiration pictures, mainly because I couldn't incorporate any like brown tones, because I don't really own any like brown tones. I only own black and white and then like stupid colors, but this was like a very neutral palette, and the only neutral I have is black, so I fell a little short there. Now, the next question is, how much do I like this aesthetic in theory? Like, would I like to have those neutrals? Would I like to... Oh my god. Do I have to hold this? I think I have to hold it on. Hopefully the sound is okay. Okay. In theory, this aesthetic, I love it on somebody else. Honestly, dark academia, super cool vibes. But for me, I feel like I would just feel a little out of place, a little awkward a little like I'm pretending here. So for me, someone who has actually studied history, this Pinterest history major aesthetic, it's a 4 out of 10 for me. It's just not happening. I feel like individual elements I really like slouchy blazers, all for it, but just not with everything else also being very dressed up. Yeah. Finally though, do I like where this theoretical aesthetic has brought me in reality and how I manifested it? Do I like where we're going? I think yes. I do like how it works with just black and white. Very much more me. I love these shoes. I own these boots obviously, but I never wear them. But boy do I feel powerful walking around in them. And then this blazer is super cool. I'm probably going to keep stealing it from my mother. I love the slouchy blazer. So this outfit and my manifestation of the aesthetic, I'm gonna give myself, I think, a 7 out of 10. I would love to wear this to a job interview, which is kind of what I just did, but it was a phone interview so they couldn't see me. Or if I ever have, a grown-up job where you have to wear something like this, I like it. But on the everyday, going to the coffee shop, this ain't it for me. So there you have it. History major aesthetic attempt done. Moving on to philosophy, I only found one inspiration image on Pinterest for this one, so there's only a few outfit elements to work with here. We have this skirt, which is button up with kind of plaid. I don't know what you call that. It's not quite fully plaid. And then we have this loose floral tank top. We have some tan socks. There's this orange blazer in the background, so sort of warm tones, a little girly, but kind of professor vibes. Maybe chill professor vibes. And now for the next reveal. It is the philosophy major. This one's a lot more abstract. So the picture was sort of a skirt and then a floral top and Oxfords, but this is the only floral thing that I own is this kimono. I'm actually kind of glad it's kind of close to the color scheme, because the colors were burgundy, olive green, and I feel mustard yellow kind of goes in there. But I don't have a skirt in that color palette or a loose flowy top in that color palette. So I just went for a white denim skirt because I feel the denim kind of matches the vibe. And then this flowy black tank top because at least it's kind of flowy. And then I added these socks. I don't know if you can see from there, but they do have tiny little flowers on them. And so the black socks with flowers kind of ties in the kimono. And then I have on tan Doc Martens instead of olive green Oxfords. And on that note, I'm going to give myself a 2 for fulfilling this aesthetic. For matching this look, I have pretty much failed. This is just basically Tyne attempts to wear florals, and this is all I could do. Because I also just don't have anything with those colors that's even close to this sort of flowy, laid-back aesthetic. I do think that in theory, I do like those colors. I like this aesthetic a little bit more. The kind of laid-back earth tone neutrals that are kind of straying towards jewel tones but staying pretty earthy. I do like those colors. I mean, I bought this freaking mustard kimono, and I do have burgundy stuff that I really like. It's just not in the laid-back aesthetic. The only thing I didn't love was it was super girly, and I'm not a girl. So I wasn't too hyped about that. But the idea of a burgundy corduroy skirt, I guess it could be a skirt, with olive green Oxfords and some sort of loose flowy top. I just wouldn't do a tank top that shows the titties because I like to hide the chest area. I do like the concepts a little bit more than the history major fancy. So for my liking this aesthetic in general, aspiring to be the philosophy major that Pinterest wants me to be. I'm gonna give it a 6. It's a little too girly, so I'd have to change it quite a bit to make it a little more androgynous or like pseudo-masculine, but I do like a lot of the base you got going on there. So now, in terms of my execution, I do like the idea of wearing these socks with this kimono, but I don't love this shirt mainly. I just put on something kind of flowy. I feel like I would maybe wear this with some sort of t-shirt, maybe just like an olive green t-shirt. Maybe I should have just put on my green t-shirt. Maybe that would have been closer. Whatever. But I think a t-shirt would make me feel a little better about it, and then I would like tie the t-shirt right here. And I think I would also wear different shoes. I think I would just wear Pumas, because I have these like tan Pumas. I think I would wear those over the Oxfords. I mean, it's the same color, but I just feel like the Doc Martens don't go with this for me. Even though the Doc Martens were like closer to Oxfords. So for my execution, I'm gonna give myself a 5, because it's like split the outfit in half, and like one half can go one direction, the other half can go another direction, and I could like both of those directions, but like as this it's not really working for me. So this was a little bit of a failure, this aesthetic. I guess I'm not like a philosophy major. I don't know. Does this invalidate everything? Technically, I think I did more of a philosophy degree than anything else. But yeah, this ain't it. So for the women's studies major, I also only have one inspiration image. And for this one, it's got a very boyish hint, which makes sense for women's studies, I think. But it's also a little bit, I take myself seriously, and a little bit, I'm a playful woman still. So there's a little bit of hints, but it's a much more boyish look than the others. Y'all ain't ready for this one. It's too much. But here I come. Ooh. Oh my goodness, who are they? So this is my women's studies outfit. I feel like I did a pretty great job of matching the aesthetic on this one, besides the socks. But these are just the same socks I was just wearing because they're like compression socks, so they're super comfy, and I didn't want to take them off. But so instead of a white polo, I have a white button-up, but it's like pretty much the same vibe because it's the one that's oversized, and I can kind of leave it open more on that side. And then I love the like bag shorts look, the waist bag at the top, but with the belt, and like really loose shorts. And then I did put on actual Oxfords. These are my gray Oxfords. And yeah, I feel like I did pretty amazing. So I'm gonna give myself a 9 out of 10 for matching, and it's only because I left the socks on. But in theory, I do also really like this aesthetic, but it's kind of too feminist, feels like she has to dress like a man vibes for me. Like, I wish there was a little more girly stuff splashed in, just to like, I don't know, better reflect sort of feminism that I like. So I'm gonna give the theoretical a 7, because it's more looking manly than really androgynous, at least to me, and how I would feel. And finally, I am rushing this one because I am cold. This actual outfit, I love. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 right out the gate. I would absolutely wear this. I think I would like it with my yellow jean jacket thrown over the top for like current weather. But like during the spring, I would totally do this look with like the short socks and love it. and feel my absolute best. So this is a winner so far, is women's studies, which is funny because I didn't really take any classes in like women's studies or gender. I just self-studied it for my thesis. But I guess that shows you why I self-studied it for my thesis, because it is where I truly belong. And last but not least, we have the film student aesthetic. So this first picture has most of the outfit inspiration I took. You can see a ton of plaid, sort of a generally laid back, almost skater-ish kind of style. I don't know if it's just me that associates plaid and these kinds of skirts with skaters, but that's sort of what we have going on. A lot more of a dark palette still, but with a little bit of color. It's just like dark tones of the colors. This one, once again, we have just tons of plaid and just like basic shapes, I guess you could say. A little bit of corduroy, a little bit of fun pants. And then finally, this last image I didn't really take anything from, but I wanted to shout it out because I loved this sweater on shirt situation, even though I was not able to recreate it. And for the final reveal, it is film major Tyne on the scene. So for this one I did take some liberties, but that's mainly because I found so many things I got a little overwhelmed. So this isn't really based on a single outfit. More so, I saw this plaid skirt and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna wear my plaid skirt, even though it's a little bit louder. And then I was gonna do a different top. I was gonna do this denim button up with a sweater on top because I freaking love that look, but I don't have a sweater, and my mom also doesn't have a sweater that has like that tight of a neckline. So I just decided to run with the whole plaid and flannel thing and put flannel on top with this sort of neutral shirt, because there's a lot of just like neutral shirts. So for accurately fitting the aesthetic, I'm also going to have to note that my boots are pink when they should really be brown. So I'm going to give myself like a 4 for matching, just because I feel like I pushed the boundary of what the Pinterest gods were telling me a little bit too much, maybe. But in theory, I do really like this aesthetic. I feel like it's a little basic. I don't know if I could fully commit to it because I'd feel like, why am I holding back? But I do own a lot more of these elements. I could put together a really boring outfit with just like skinny jeans and like totally match, but I just don't want to do that. So that's how we ended up here. So the theory of this aesthetic, I'm gonna give it like a 6.5, because it's like, I like all the elements, but putting them together like this is kind of blah. Which brings us to my outfit execution. I actually love this outfit, except for the shoes, because they're pink and they don't really match, but I didn't know what else to put on, honestly. Like, I have no idea what shoes I would wear with this. But other than that, I do really like the outfit. I feel like the plaid on flannel kind of works. This shirt kind of ties it together because there's a little bit of green in here and it makes it more neutral. I feel like I would probably just wear this with like my green Vans. I have like lightish green Vans, and that would kind of bring the green down there. I think it might work. But so for this outfit, I'm gonna give myself like I'm feeling like 8-ish. Like, okay, we're working on it. We're like a couple steps away, but like, it's a pretty good spot. It's a pretty good spot. So let's rank my outfits just overall out of the 4. I feel like women's studies obviously won. Just number 1, perfect in every way. Maybe not wear it with the socks, but the socks work too. Coming in second place is a little tricky. I don't know if you know which two I'm debating between, but I'm actually gonna have to give it to history. Even though I said that's not really something I'd wear on the daily, I feel like it just worked so well as an actual outfit that I'm gonna have to say history is number 2, which means that the film major look, is gonna be number 3, because I do really like these elements. I just did a mediocre job of putting them together because I was trying to make it exciting. And that leaves in last, to the surprise of nobody, philosophy, which is funny because that was most closely represents what my actual major was. But the Pinterest outfit info for philosophy just wasn't it for me. It was a little too girly. Otherwise, it was great. But I'm all about that fuck gender shit. So there you have it. Thank you so much for joining me on this day in my outfit endeavors. I hope this was somewhat entertaining. I definitely feel a little inspired to put together outfits in a way that I don't usually. And I think I might try to actually make outfits that I would actually wear out of all the combinations that I attempted today. So here's some advice. If you're feeling kind of blah about your wardrobe, and especially your coordination, check out Pinterest for some random ass aesthetic that you think you own some pieces for, and just give it a shot, cause why not? So this was fun. I hope you had fun, and I will see you next time.